finances is an issue, truly speaking. The issue is not financing. The greater issue is to be sent.
To be the one that is sent.
To be the one that is sent. For instance, if I say to one of our studio staff, I would like you to go somewhere to go and record. I will be responsible for the camera because I'm sending him. I will be responsible for his transportation. Many of our staff have followed me to India, to Africa, to Europe. So they were not the one looking for their own ticket because they have to follow me. They are not just following me for sightseeing. They are going to do their work in the place. Now, if I'm sending somebody to go and do something, and it is my responsibility to provide his ticket, accommodation, food, everything, how much more when God sends me? So the great question we must always ask at all time is, has God sent you? Now you remember in Matthew chapter 10 when Jesus sent them out 2 by 2, he said, don't take extra bag, don't take extra purse, don't take no this and that. If the laborer is worthy of his wages. Then when they came back, Jesus asked them, when I sent you out and asked you to take nothing, did you lack anything? And they said no. The great question is, has God called you? If God has called you, then he will finance you, whether or not you have congregation. But the problem or the challenge with so many people today is that they are even doing beyond the scope, operating beyond the scope. So when you do beyond what God has called you or has called you to do, then you will need more finances. And when the finances are not coming, you'll be putting pressure on God. You won't know that God provides for what he asks you to do, but he's not responsible for providing for what he did not ask you to do. Now, I want you to listen to me very carefully. In Nigeria, I see a situation whereby most young men come to ministry and they have in their mind that, I want to be like that bishop. I want to be like that pastor who has a mega-sized congregation. So whatever it's going to take, I'm going to have a large church. When you want to have a large church, you have to compromise the quality of message to accommodate more people, because they will have factored that the more the people, the more the offering, the more the tithe. And this is misleading so many of the people. They are under pressure. And when pressures increase, because they want to prove a point that God has called me, they will be under pressure. They will now do the wrong thing. And how does it happen? It happens when they say, okay, I have prayed over this anointing oil. I brought it from Jerusalem. Yes, it's a special one. You buy it for 1,000. You calculated it. Oh, we are going to do redemption for our firstborn. All of you must calculate if your child is up to 30 years or 20 years, for every day of his life, you pay 500, for every year. 30-year-old, 500 per year, times 30. Then times 1,000 children who are firstborn in that church. So people are now beginning to do things that are outside the Bible. They become dupes. They become cheats. They can't preach against unrighteousness any longer. They cannot confront corruption in Nigeria any longer. The people bring them money, bring stolen money. And you know, when you are preaching against them, it will be difficult for you to attract the people you are preaching against. But to know that you are not preaching the truth because of the expediency of finances. So the message is compromised, and when it is compromised, it lacks the power. The cross is the power of God. And when you take the message of the cross from the gospel becomes powerless. And that's why you see what is happening today, because the message has been diluted, has been watered down. The potency of every soft drink like Coke is just when you take it alone. But by the time you dilute it with water, it becomes flat. And most of these things are done for the exigency of money. Everything comes back to money. So we lie to the people, we manipulate the people, bring special handkerchief, bring special oil, or you have to buy the oil here, and do extraordinary things instead of just embracing the simple message of Christ and his cross. It puts so many pastors under pressure. And those who are called to go and do evangelism, they can't do it. They want to sit down and gather the crowd and get the money. Meanwhile, the apostles of old suffered so many things, even including finances.
That's true.
One day we told Satan, if you think you can frustrate us with finances, we'll stop preaching. Rather than to begin to lie, we'd rather stop preaching. But it's not strong enough to stop us.